Yo.
Do you use your D&D?
What do you mean D&D?
Your D&D button on your iPhone.
What's that?
It's the don't not disturb me, son.
Oh, is that what that means?
Yeah, it's the do not disturb.
What was it? Recently I heard D&D stood for something else. I know it's Dungeons and Dragons. There's something else.
I think just that. Dungeons and Dragons.
No. There's some, do not maybe it was do not disturb. I remember somebody recently said D&D and it meant something completely different. And
Maybe R&D.
No. I remember it was D&D because I'm like, oh, Dungeons and Dragons.
No, I don't know. Maybe we'll leave that. We'll leave that for the comments down below. What does D&D stand for? Keep it PG. D&D down below. You know what I mean?
Hey Christian.
Yeah.
Welcome to the attic.
Welcome, my man. Pleasure.
Pleasure.
There we go.
Hey everybody. Speaking of comments, now at the time of this recording, we haven't uploaded any of our episodes. First one goes out tomorrow.
You're right.
Now, I don't know if anyone's going to have this confusion. I don't know if anyone's going to leave a comment like this. But I did listen to yesterday's video. Yesterday, let me rephrase. Yesterday, I listened to the first episode.
Oh my god,
which was a lot of fun.
We already need to come up with a multiverse timeline for these
do.
episodes.
We do. But when I was listening to it, I thought in that first episode, when we recorded it, I was pretty clear in terms of how I described what this show's going to be.
Right.
And also what this channel is moving forward. Mm-hmm. When I listened to it, I'm like, I can see how there could be some confusion. So I just want to lay it out just very briefly. Okay. I don't have to go through the whole history lesson, but I just want to make sure that people understood.
All right, lay it down.
The channel is going to be two things, right? Mm-hmm. This podcast, which is going to be us talking. It's going to be mailbags, reviews, discussing topical things, giveaways, mailbag, all that.
All the above.
And there's still going to be what we call the second option, or the second part of the channel, which is video essays, scrapped, and other topics that we haven't jumped into yet, different series, but that fall into that category.
They should make,
yeah.
All that other stuff.
I just want to make clear that that's not going away. Because I was like, you know what? It kind of felt like in that first episode, I was saying that this is going to replace all that. That's not the case.
Right, and even in like the post that you made about hinting at this episode that we're recording right now, I feel like maybe they're like, oh, they're finally coming back. It's like, no, we've been back.
Yeah.
We've been back, and we're gonna, I think I mentioned in that episode that this is something that I've been really pushing for since we've been doing this again, and that we're finally doing it because, like you mentioned, this is something that we've wanted to do, but we just didn't have an avenue or a place to do all the things that you just mentioned that we wanted to do. And that's why it's the attic. And you throw a bunch of stuff in the attic, and this is exactly what it is. It's all those, like...
Are you saying that's all the things involving ChrisCross?
All the things involving ChrisCross. Oh. All the things involving ChrisCross that we wanted to do. We finally have a place to throw that out of it, you know what I'm saying? We throw it all up in there. So, yeah, man, I'm glad that we're doing this. This is episode number episode number 3.
I gotta ask you something.
Yeah.
You've been teasing every time I see you that you have some sort of magical thing you want to discuss on this podcast. I've failed to ask you during the podcast what it is, and you failed to bring these things up, and then Donkey Kong plays us off and the episode ends. I'm not allowing you to walk away from this episode without bringing that up.
Oh my god.
So what you teased me, there's something you wanted to talk about today. You looked me dead in the eye and you said, I'm not telling you.
Yeah, I remember now.
What is it?
Well, it's funny,
because you said it was going to be a debate.
Yeah, I said it was going to be a debate, yes, but it's not, it's just something I wanted, just wanted to hype it up a little bit, but I was actually thinking about this in the bathroom, that's where I come up with all my ideas.
All your ideas.
That's where I came up with the attic, actually.
Came up with the attic in the bathroom. Gotcha.
Yep.
Cool.
And this is episode 3. I was just looking at some images of Spider-Man 3. And I made a comment to you about Spider-Man 3, but...
The Tobey Maguire one?
Yeah, but, the reason why I was seeing all this stuff is because they just recently, they being Sony, just unveiled. They had their Sony showcase, and they talked about all the different stuff that's coming to PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Asterisk, a lot of it is coming for the Xbox as well. They really don't have exclusives. But
Spider-Man's pretty exclusive.
But their one of the two exclusives is Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see if you had seen any of the footage and what your thoughts are on everything that is, you know. If you're interested in, you know, getting a PlayStation 5 to playing this game, or, you know, what do you think?
One of the main reasons I want a PlayStation, because I have an Xbox One, I have a Switch. I haven't jumped to like the new generation of Xbox. I haven't had a PlayStation since PS2.
Yeah, me neither.
But because of this Spider-Man game, I've been wanting to get a PlayStation ever since the first one came out. It looks incredible. I played Spider-Man 2 on the GameCube when that came out.
Spider-Man 3 on the Switch. On the Wii.
The Wii with the motion controls. That was a lot of fun.
That was so cool, dude.
It felt more restrictive though than the controls in that was incredible, but the map. Correct me if I'm wrong.
The map just looked bad, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, at the time, I think we were like in denial. I think it was like a denial phase because we had the Wii. And I remember when I was playing like Guitar Hero, and I still didn't have an Xbox, or I didn't have it on the Xbox yet, and I thought I was playing the sickest game ever. And yeah, I'm just watching music, listening to music and whatnot. But I remember doing the classic switcheroo. Which, I mean, that's a story on its own. Sorry, Mike. That's a story on its own. But I did the classic switcheroo, and I came back with a Xbox 360 version of Guitar Hero 3, and the minute I turned that on, you could just tell night and day difference.
The difference,
the graphics, and you know.
Okay, wait. What I'm saying is that Spider-Man 2 on the GameCube, the map was better,
really,
than Spider-Man 3 on the Wii.
On the Wii, but I think it was different on the newer gen. Like,
it looked. I remember seeing the comparisons between how it looked on 360. It was like night and day.
Yeah, I know.
But the motion controls were pretty awesome on that game, so that's what made it great. To answer your question, though, I haven't seen any footage of the new Spider-Man game, but I have seen stills. And that black suit Spider-Man looks sick.
And that's what I was looking at. And like at first, I just saw it like screaming through Twitter or whatever. Yeah. Saw the screenshots, and I saw some footage. But now like people are deep diving, frame by frame, dissecting the black symbiote suit, the dialogue, and like just reading what all these people are coming up with. And I'm a sucker for like Venom and Black Symbiote Spider-Man. I love it. Like, I just Venom is one of my favorite characters. So just seeing this, and like now they're hinting at certain lore that they're gonna bring up in Spider-Man 2. I'm like, I don't know, man. I mean, I have a PS5 where I stay at, so I have access to it. I might just have to buy the game.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
I may just have to buy the game.
And
you may just have to. You just may have to.
I'm gonna have to
swing on over.
I'm gonna have to. You're my friendly neighborhood Mata. Look, man.
Friendly neighborhood Mata. Come on through.
It's funny with PlayStation. It's like there's like the one or two games that just it makes you want to jump into that world. For me, the PlayStation 2, I had to get that system because of Kingdom Hearts.
Same.
And now Kingdom Hearts is multi-platform. I played it on the Xbox One, the third one. And now the first two games are on the Switch.
Yeah, that's
some shape or form, right?
That's right. Yeah.
That being said, this Spider-Man game is exclusive. It's, to me, the really only other game that I'm like, okay, I'll buy this system for that game.
I know, but man, that's a big investment. It's a big investment for one game.
Do you remember back in the day at Blockbuster, you could actually rent out systems?
Yeah, you could rent out the systems.
Yeah.
Do they have a service like that? I mean, there's
I'm sure.
Like maybe there isn't, and we just make it up ourselves.
Well, you just revealed it on the pod.
I mean, maybe, but hey, if someone does it, just run with the idea and do
it. I guarantee there's got to be somebody.
Cut, you know?
Yeah,
give us 10%, you know?
Maybe that's what something we should do.
Because think about it, like, there was that one app...
Well, how much is a PS5? Yeah, PS5.
I don't think they dropped the prices. I think they're still like $400 or $500.
I still haven't seen one in the store. Maybe I'm not looking.
Yeah, you maybe not. I mean, they're out there. They're out there.
I know they are,
but you know, there's that app where like if you have a nice sports car, or even a regular car, you can just put it on the marketplace. People can rent it for a certain rate. There's like Airbnb, rent out your house. Is there anything like that for
your
video game consoles?
Even games.
I feel like there's a market for that.
What if there's like, you know, hey, I got this collection of games, and you can just like rent them from people.
Yeah, like you do run the risk of people like
damaging,
stealing, but
you run that risk giving somebody your car or these Uber drivers.
True.
You just have to have like with Uber, there's like protection for the drivers and insurance that's put in play. So let's say you become a renter for this company, right? And there's some sort of insurance policy. So let's say you have like 60 games, it's insured for like $400 or something like that. I don't know. You lose.
I don't know. I think we got something here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to redact this entire
you might have to actually edit this podcast.
That's what I gotta say something real quick.
All right, say it.
I gotta say something. I love that I don't have to edit these podcasts.
Oh, I'm telling you, bro.
It's you record, you rip it, you render, boom, boom, bop,
boom, boom, bop, rip it and dip it. You know?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, like that was definitely one of the things like early on we talked about.
Yeah.
We talked about, and you know, I think we were all kind of not worried, but hesitant to do it because of how daunting it could be. You know, I think, yes, in the future, you know, if people like this, you know, we're definitely going to upgrade it. I think, personally, we want to upgrade it, you know.
What are you talking about right now?
The podcast.
What about the podcast?
I'm saying maybe one day we'll add another mic. We'll add some lights. We'll add some cameras.
For people who don't know, him and I are sitting on each other's laps.
Oh no, let him imagine it. Let him imagine it. He's sitting on top of me right now.
No.
I got one leg.
I know. You're a bottom boy.
No, you're right. No, I'm sitting on. We're sitting across from each other.
Yeah, we're on a nice couch, but maybe it would be nice to have two mics.
Yeah, you know, maybe we'll get two mics. Maybe we'll get a camera or two.
I think we should set a benchmark. Let's not say the number today, but I think after a certain amount of subscribers, we're going to upgrade this to a video-based podcast. Right. We'll have a video element to this.
Yeah, because some people may not even know what we look like, you know?
I think they could just go back 2 or 3 videos and see our faces.
Nah, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that, right, guys? See, they wouldn't do that, but yeah, cool. You know, more on the story is, we just record, you know, 2 dudes talking about everything. ChrisCross.
It would be kind of fun. It would be kind of fun if, like, let's say down the line we create, like, we get the subscription base thing or some sort of a Patreon for this particular show. And, like, you know how there's this big space between us? Like, every episode we cut out one of our viewers and then put them as like a little standee. Like you're chilling with us.
Yeah.
You remember, like, during...
Like at the graduation?
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be cool.
Something like that.
That'd be really cool. You know, just like, this month, special guest is... Beep, you
know. Like Ed and Eddie, where they had the plank.
That
was his name, right? Plank?
Plank, yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Plank
great.
should be our first guy. We'll just go to Home Depot. Be like, shh, hey, we'll be in 2x4. Get us a little 2x4, cut that sucker in half, put him right here. And you're a master painter. You already got the paint right here.
Speaking of Home Depot.
Yeah.
There is a video, kind of like a series that's going on. I don't know who the creator is, so I apologize. He's a large creator, so he's not going to care that we're not like shouting him out. Right. But this guy who is of Hispanic descent, I've sent you a couple, goes to Home Depot, picks up a couple workers, and he takes them to Disneyland. And it's like the most wholesome content right now on the internet. Whenever I see one of those videos pop up, I sit and I watch from beginning to end. It's so great.
I've told you, like, I'd love to do that, you know?
Me too.
That's like something, like, we go out on the street. If we have the money to do it, I'd love to do something like that.
Me too.
You know?
Yeah.
Because, really cool. Man, like, I'm glad you bring that up because
for people that don't know, he picks him up, takes him to Disneyland, and then at the end of the day still gives them like $500 for their troubles.
Right. Essentially, like, instead of getting paid to go do actual labor, it's like, yeah, you're gonna miss a day of work, but I'm paying you as if you were to have worked today. Probably give you more than you would have made, and you get to experience something you probably would have never done, or haven't done yet, or whatever. And it's just an amazing experience. But it reminds me of when my parents came out here to visit for the first time. And, you know, thanks to you...
What?
You were the reason I believe I was on a plane for the first time?
Yep. Well...
Maybe?
Yeah.
I mean, I have a horrible memory. If anyone can remember about my first time on a plane, it would be you.
The first time you went on a plane was when we went to Florida together.
Right.
Yeah.
See, I knew you knew. You know me better than I know me. And then I went to Disney World. I had never been to Disney World.
Yeah.
So I just remember that feeling. And like, you were like, yo, get this, get that. Like, you kind of did that to me back then. You've already done this.
Yeah. I didn't pay you for your day.
You picked me up at home, not at Home Depot.
Oh, you're right.
And, you know, when my parents were here, it felt so good.
Yeah.
Seeing my mom, my dad, hell, my brothers and sisters, you know, just experiencing Disney for the first time. Mm-hmm. And I got to live my first experience again through them. Just seeing like how happy they were, and that's the best feeling in the world. And if they wanted anything, I'm still paying it for this day. I mean, I ran up my credit cards, all the way to the attic.
The mouse gets you.
Yeah, the mouse. Yeah. He had me that day.
Yeah, he does.
I was the one looking for the cheese in the trap, and he got me.
Got you.
He got me hard.
We have a family member who, lived out here, and he always referred to Disneyland. He didn't like it at all.
Okay, he didn't like it at all.
But he would refer to Disneyland as the mousetrap, which I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But no, so okay, let's talk about Disney for a second, because a lot of things have happened recently, which I don't think we talked about in the last podcast. And I know it's been talked about a lot in media, and by the time this comes out, it's going to be old news. But have you heard about the Star Wars hotel closing for good? And do you know anything about the Star Wars hotel?
I knew nothing about a Star Wars hotel, but I don't know if you sent me or someone sent me.
I don't think I did.
But I remember reading an article like that. At the Star Wars hotel is shutting down. Like, what's that about?
Okay, I'll tell you about it. And let's go way back, right? Mm-hmm. So when Disney bought Star Wars, that initial announcement, they said that they're going to implement Star Wars in the parks as well as on film and everything else. Mm-hmm. One of those things being a hotel. So everyone just figured, okay, it's just going to be a standard hotel, but with Star Wars flair. It's going to be really, really great. Pool, you check in, boom, boom, bop. You can go this, and that.
Whoop-de-whoop.
Whoop-de-whoop.
Throw all the ad-libs in there.
And, you can go to the parks, come back to your hotel, beautiful Star Wars decor, everything, right? They took it to another step further. At Disneyland and at their Disney Hollywood Studios park at Disney World in Florida, they built Galaxy's Edge, which is not like a normal like theme park decorated area. It's like you're actually in a Star Wars planet, which they call Batu. Mm-hmm. All the cast members there, they don't even refer to themselves as cast members. They kind of play the characters as if they've lived in this town. They don't refer like, oh, when you pay for something, oh, you want to pay cash or credit? They ask you for like your Star Wars credits, your credentials.
Here, right? And that's how it is here in Disneyland too. Like
same thing, yeah.
Okay.
It's like you're in a different place.
Uh-huh.
So it's almost like you're living through the story. They wanted to take it another level, and at Disney World, they built a hotel that's adjacent to Batu, so that you can kind of travel with ease from the theme park attraction to the hotel via this like box truck that they decked out, and they made it feel like you're in a little spaceship going back and forth. The idea is you enter this hotel, and it looks like a normal building, And when you enter the hotel, you enter a pod, and it shoots you up to space. You feel it shaking and everything. And then you enter in the grand hall of this, basically this hull of a ship. And you can't leave. You can't get off this building. There's no windows, nothing.
What?
You're stuck in this building for 3 days.
They forced you to do this? Or I mean, that was the plan?
No, that's how it was for a year.
Oh.
Yeah. Which it's basically like a cruise. That sounds
horrible.
No. For some people it's difficult. So here's the thing.
Okay.
There is a little tiny courtyard that you can go to, and they're like, oh, this is like a hologram room. Like it simulates the outside environment if you feel claustrophobic. Mm-hmm. But they have windows, but they're screen based, and it looks like you're in space constantly. So you have your hotel room. I think it had like 100-something rooms, and you're basically on a space cruise ship for 3 days. One of the days you go in that box truck and you go to your destination of the theme park and you experience the attractions there. But the entire time you're living out this story, and these cast members are playing characters, and you go into groups, and there's every time you go, it's like a different experience.
And this is all inside the hotel.
All in the hotel.
Okay.
It's really cool. I'll have to show you some videos. Granted, and this is where they fell. This is where they failed in my eyes, and I think a lot of commentators' eyes. One, the price tag was extremely high. It was like $6,000 for like 2.5, 3 days. Which, for that money, you can spend, like over a week at Disney World, or go to somewhere else in the world, explore, whatever. Put that in the bank.
You get a Ford Explorer. Why won't you?
Sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
It is.
So they really bottlenecked their audience. And Star Wars, for the most part, is for everybody. So a lot of fans were salty with that price tag.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's understandable because you're paying all these actors because they're acting constantly throughout the day.
Right.
But it's a hefty price tag, number one. Number two, the story of not only the theme park, but this attraction was sandwiched between Star Wars The Last Jedi, which was the most controversial Star Wars movie, and The Rise of Skywalker. So you're not seeing Darth Vader, Stormtroopers, Luke Skywalker, none of these characters. You're just seeing Rey and Kylo Ren and First Order. It's like, that alone is already pissing off half the community. Mm-hmm. And then when they had initially announced this concept, they released all this concept art. This was released, or this opened up after the pandemic, after the recession, and it got severely budget cut. And a lot of those concepts were dumbed down, and people knew what to expect, and it wasn't 100% what they advertised originally. So it had all these things going against it. And it opened up a little over a year ago. They announced that this September will be the last voyage, and it's going to close for good. They're claiming that they're using this as a exercise, as a learning experience for future projects. The biggest question right now is whether or not they're going to repurpose the building and try to make it just like a normal hotel that's designed to be Star Wars, or just demolish it or repurpose it somehow. Nobody knows. I know that they are going to take a huge tax write-off. Like, they're going to get a lot of money because of this. But at the same time, it's sad that so many creative individuals worked on this. So many people put their heart and soul into it. A lot of people loved the experience. Like, it was getting good reviews. People who actually won on it, loved it.
It does sound like a cool experience.
It looks cool. From a fan's
perspective, I think, like, if they executed it correctly, and you knew what you were getting yourself into, like, the way you explain it to me is, like, if I was expecting to go to a hotel that was, like, Star Wars themed, and it's like, you can't leave? It's like, what? Like, I want to leave, But if you knew going in, and you knew you were going to get this experience and all that, like, I can see it. Me personally, I don't think I would have done it. No matter how much of a super fan I was, like, man, 3 days is a lot.
It's more like 2.
2? Okay. Well, that's doable. give me 2 nights.
Keep in mind, at some point you do
$6,000 though.
That's so you know me.
And that was per person.
No, it's per room.
Per room. Still though.
You see me. I'm a big Star Wars fan. Look at this. Look at this room around you. I would have loved to have gone, but man, that's too much money.
I don't think they'll tear it down. I mean, that seems like a waste of.
I don't know, man.
Labor and I mean, they built it, or was that already there?
No, they built it from the ground up. Disney's been known to build pretty expensive things and demolish them or abandon them pretty quick. I'm working on a scrap video right now about this whole thing, like not just the Star Cruiser, but some other things around it, surrounding it. It's interesting. I'll say that.
I think it would be cool if they repurposed it.
I think they should.
You know, still provide like a flavor of this experience.
Yeah.
You know, but just don't keep people there. Don't do all this extra stuff that rose the prices to be that high, and then allow it to be a place where people can stay if they want to visit and have a whole Star Wars experience. Because I mean, it would be a shame to just. I think of all the people that built that thing. You know, it was built on the backs of hardworking people that risked their lives to put that building together, and it hasn't even been that long.
So many people are so excited, and a lot of those performers. I mean, I think the biggest loss is all these performers that are not going to have like jobs after this, or they're going to be relocated. I mean, people that reviewed it, people that went on this ship had. Like unanimously said that the cast members that worked this thing made the experience.
Right, they poured their soul into it.
Yeah.
Put their heart.
That's what's sad.
And everything into it, you know, and now it's gone. But there has to be YouTube videos on this, right? Like
absolutely. That's how I saw
you
it.
Experienced it.
Yeah.
I'm interested. I might check it out.
We'll have to check it out because I think that this concept could work and can work with other IPs that Disney has. But they need to tweak the experience, and it needs to be far more affordable.
Yeah, definitely. And with that new president, or is it CEO?
CEO, yeah.
Him coming back, and it seems like if anyone can do it, it would be him.
Yeah.
Just to get these prices back in check, and
that's what he's doing.
You know, I was gonna say something based on you know, we were talking about the pricing and this experience. Something came to my mind and now it's gone, but it'll come back.
Can I ask you something?
Sure. Yeah.
This is gonna be a complete 180.
All right, go ahead. Shoot.
We make the effort every episode to mention Burger King.
I was actually gonna mention Burger King.
Every episode
I'm thinking about it right now. Actually.
I know. Me too.
Chicken crispy right now. Original chicken.
I'm looking at that red dyed Spider-Man Whopper.
You're right. That's why I was gonna mention it.
We need to review that.
We need to.
You and I have had a lengthy debate about the best burger on the market, which there's a lot of variables that go into this because it's like, are we comparing apples to apples here? Is it just fast food? Like, where does a Five Guys fall into place? Where, like, is Red Robin a contender? Do you just go like? Are you comparing for McDonald's? Is it the Big Mac? Is the Quarter Pounder in play? Like, there's so many weird variables,
right.
But
that's just so many videos we can make.
There is, but I think let's talk about it a little bit.
Yeah,
we don't have to talk. Maybe we bring it down to chicken tendies, man. Some nuggets, some nugget talk.
We'll keep it like this. I think it's definitely a video we want to do, you know, and it ties into another series that I think is going to be great.
I love that idea.
Once we get that idea rolling, I'm telling you guys, everyone out there listening, if you guys are a fan of food and you're a fan of this podcast and you're becoming a fan of this podcast, I think it's a perfect blend of these two and being able to see us and us showing you guys new experiences. What we have in mind, I think you guys are going to love it. But to jump on that topic, I think there are levels to it. And in my opinion, we have to consider. I like to do it on a level of them being fast food restaurants and what categorizes a restaurant as a fast food restaurant now.
That's my question.
I say it is a drive-through accessible restaurant is a fast food restaurant. So, Five Guys is not a fast food restaurant.
Okay.
Because it doesn't have a drive-through. You do still have to wait. It is not a gourmet sit-down like Red Robin. I think Red Robin is still a step above. So, if we're going to go 1, 2, 3, I think it's like, let's say, Burger King, McDonald's are on a level. Five Guys.
Can I ask you something?
Is on a level, and then you get.
I see a flaw in your theory already.
All right, let's see.
Portillo's has a drive-through. Are you putting that on the same playing field?
Yeah.
A Portillo's burger is comparable, I think, to a Five Guys burger. Yet there is a drive-through.
Yes, but I think if you're in the Chicagoland area.
There's some here too. They're scattered.
I know, but if you're in the Chicagoland area...
If you don't know what Portillo's is, look at it. And if you're near it...
It's fair game.
It's worth the trip. I would argue that a Portillo's double bacon cheeseburger is top tier. But even better than that, their big beef.
Oh, dude, stop playing. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, hey, we have the luxury of knowing what it is and all that, but for the majority of people listening, they don't know what a Portillo's is. So it's not even on their ranking scale. For us, it is on our ranking scale.
Okay, but we've never had Whataburger.
I have.
Okay, never mind. But like that's regional, right? Like we don't have access to that.
Right.
But then there's a lot of people that do, and that's definitely on their list. So that has to be a contender.
Yeah.
What about Culver's?
It has a drive-through. It's fast food.
But that's not everywhere. I tell people about the butter burgers from Culver's, and they're like, what's a butter burger?
They don't know. But we have to put them in that list.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying. Like, it could be
So this is a much grander idea that we can't just address here right now, is what you're saying.
We cannot. But if we want to go, like, mainstream... Because there's, like, the mainstream.
All right.
There's something that's accessible to... Let's say 90% of the country or the world is going to be McDonald's and Burger King.
And Wendy's?
And Wendy's. We'll throw Wendy's in there.
Is there a fourth?
For burgers?
White Castle, maybe?
No. I mean, you have your BK, your McDonald's, your Wendy's.
Is there like a fourth
out here,
player?
There's Carl's. There's a lot of Carl's and Hardee's. And they're the same thing.
Hardee's, but that's kind of regional.
Is it though? I think there are a lot.
And then
places.
Jack in the Box too.
Jack in the Box. There's a lot, man.
Carl's, and then that Checkers is.
And let me tell you,
Sonic.
And let me tell you.
Okay.
When I had my first Jack in the Box out here, not only was the burger amazing, but man, I think some people fall in love with. We'll call them dancers. Some people fall in love with dancers. I fell in love with the drive-thru worker, homie. That's how good Jack in the Box was. Wait. I told you this story.
You did, but wait, let's back it up a little bit.
Okay.
First off, what the heck is a dancer?
Oh, I can't, it's PG.
Second of all, you have fallen in love with several drive-thru girls. This does not... that's actually a meme.
What, falling in love with a drive-thru girl?
Or I've seen so many memes of like guys falling in love with the girl at the cashier at like McDonald's or something.
It's true, man. You go in there thinking for a Whopper, and you come out looking for a Whopper. Ay, estoy bien guapa. Oh my god, I'm so dumb. No, but it was a great experience. It was a great burger. I got a chocolate shake. I'm a sucker for milkshakes. Everything was on point. I was running late to work, and I used the classic, shout out to Tony, classic Tony quote of, well, you can't be late twice. So it's like, if I'm already late, you can't be late twice. So I was already running late to work. I pulled up to get gas, and at this gas station, it was connected to a Jack in the Box. And I filled up. I'm like, you know what? I'm starving. And I wasn't having a good day. And I'm like, I'm going to get my food. I'm going to eat before I go into work because I'm already late. So I go to the drive-thru, and it's straight out of the George Lopez, stand-up bit of him, what it's like to order at Jack in the Box, And I was laughing because the first thing she said was and I'll make the sign, like, welcome to Jack in the Box, can I help you? And I started laughing because I'm like, dude, that's how George Lopez said it, you know? And I was dying laughing, and she was like, can I help you? Like, what do you want? And I looked at the menu, and I'm like, it looked like a different language. It looked like hieroglyphics. I'm like, what am I ordering? Like, and I'm like, it's my first time. I gotta have a Jumbo Jack. So I was like, I'll take the Jumbo Jack. And just like the George Lopez skit, he's like, a Jumbo Jack? What kind of drink, you know? And I got a chocolate shake. And man, if you haven't had a shake from Jack in the Box, and I've gone back multiple times. It wasn't just this one time.
Really? Is that good, huh?
The shakes there are to die for. And like they have the whipped cream, the cherry on top. I drove off. I ate it in my car. It was fresh. I mean, I had low expectations. When you go to a drive-thru,
you don't know what you're...
I had low expectations. Fresh. Fries, fresh. And the chocolate shake, dude, stop playing, bro.
Better than BK? Like BK on a good day? Like across the board?
We're going to save that for the video, but let's just say it exceeded my expectations.
Okay.
And
people swear by the tacos there.
Oh, I've had the tacos too.
Yeah, they're good.
But they're just like what the tacos BK used to have. And honestly, I made those tacos flame. And we used to have sour cream at BK. I remember asking, my friend, I'm like, hey, like, do they have sour cream? Like, he's like, sour cream? What? Like, on a taco? I'm like, bro. BK used to have these little... I'd never seen these packages before. They came in a box. We kept them in the freezer, and we thawed them out for a day. But they were, like, triangular, like...
Yeah. They're like weird shaped like this.
Yeah, they're like weird shape, and they have...
pop them, right?
You pop them, rip them open.
Yeah.
And it was just, like, fresh cream cheese you'd put on these tacos.
Sour cream.
Or sour cream, yeah. But they used to be, like, 2 for 99 cents. And I hated... when I had to make them, like my dad used to have to be the one making them, and the rack itself would hold like 10 tacos. You just line them all up, and they were deep fried. So they were deep fried beef tacos, and they just to maybe put some lettuce and some sauce on them and get them out the door. But corporate America wants to make a little bit more money. We started offering cheese, tomato, bacon, jalapenos, so people could load all those. We used to make a killing. Why BK stopped selling those tacos, I don't know. And then they'd sell you the sour cream for like, I believe it was 50 cents for 2 of them. If I remember correctly, with inflation, who knows what it would be now. But man, you could order, you could go to BK, order yourself 4 tacos, get you maybe just some tomato and cheese, 2 of those sour creams, a large drink. Dude, you'd be eating like a king. And they were so good. They were better than Taco Bell's tacos. They were the best fast food tacos I've ever had.
Really?
And they are very much identical at Jack in the Box, but you can't customize them nor get the sour cream like you could.
Is it just meat and cheese?
It's just meat in these tacos. It's a hard shell with meat inside, like ground
nothing
beef.
else.
Nothing else. And I believe Jack, they put lettuce and sauce. So they're still good. It's a deep fried taco. And I believe they're pretty cheap, too. Like, they still have that cheap price.
Yeah, $1.
Yeah, they're pretty cheap. They're fairly cheap. So, if you haven't had them, I recommend... Like, Jack in the Box is good, bro.
Yeah.
They got a good menu,
Okay.
It was a shame we didn't have it back home in Chicago.
Well, there's a reason why.
Well, I know, but it's a shame. It's a damn shame.
You know the story?
I've heard the myths.
The myths. Yeah,
I've heard the accusations.
I don't know the truth.
Did they go to court for this?
I think they did.
Bring it back.
There was like a salmonella case or something, and some kid died. And then they all disappeared.
That's crazy. I mean, it sucks that people had to die. And
this is my question.
It sucks.
I guarantee that there's been several deaths, several McDonald's related deaths across the globe.
In the history.
They're still around.
McDonald's everywhere.
They're still around. And then there's some kid dies in the Midwest, and they said, "Yeah, we're good. We're gonna close shop."
With how much McDonald's I've ate this year, they're probably gonna kill me. They better close them all down. I love Burger King so much. I'm gonna make sure McDonald's goes down.
We gotta find their Achilles heel. I can't tell you the last time I had McDonald's. I don't remember.
You know, McDonald's is not what it used to be, man. Like I used to love McDonald's because now I just eat it because it's there and it's cheap enough, but it's not even that cheap anymore. Mm-hmm. You know, the dollar menu is non-existent, at least not here in California. You know, but I used to go to McDonald's, and with $5 I could eat good. Mm-hmm. I could get me a McChicken, a McDouble, a large drink because they used to be $1. Throw in 2 apple pies for $1. I believe that's what they used to be. I'm at $4.
Two for $1?
2 for $1. They used to be 2 for $1. 2 for $1. McChicken, a McDouble, a drink, and get you a value fries. $5. You know, they're going to hit you with there's some tax and be like, yeah, I got $5. That's what you get. And they'd be like, all right, whatever.
No.
I wouldn't pay them the 30 whatever cents they used to charge me. Are you kidding me?
And they let you go?
Hell yeah. What were they going to do? Not give me the food? It was already there. It was fast food. I was already eating the fries when I'm paying the $5, you know?
I love how you draw the line at 31 cents.
Sometimes as a kid, that's all you got.
I got you. Okay.
Mijo, here's $5.
Yeah.
I mean, I got lucky if I found a penny on the way there, you know?
I was imagining you now.
Oh,
no,
yeah,
okay. So,
yeah. I'm still the same way. Times is tough.
Okay. I remember the last time I had McDonald's now. Wow. It was almost a year ago, but I got their breakfast. Their breakfast is solid. They're like a good like sausage egg McMuffin with cheese, hash brown on the side. But you and I recently had we had Dunkin' Donuts breakfast.
Yes.
Which is flame.
ChrisCross runs on Dunkin'.
It does. And we also recently, I say recently, it was months and months ago, but we had Taco Bell breakfast.
Oh, yes.
People don't talk about the Taco Bell breakfast enough.
You know what people don't talk about either?
What?
And this, I don't know if you've had it. Wendy's breakfast. Wendy's breakfast is low-key underrated.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I had it once. I was visiting home. I had it then. It was, I want to say also a year ago.
Like, if you like the Dunkin' hash browns, I believe Wendy's hash browns are similar.
They're like garlic, right? They're like garlic herb.
But you know how they come in that little package? It's like what BK's hash browns were like, but they're those little round hash browns.
Yeah, but they're seasoned.
Like that. Yeah, they're seasoned.
Yeah.
And then their coffee is decent.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not Dunkin', but if you're in a pinch and there's a Wendy's nearby and you're like, Wendy's ain't going to have good breakfast,
Dunkin' hits different, though.
Oh, dude.
I've been going to Dunkin' Donuts for their coffee recently. That's my guilty pleasure. I treat myself with a little bit of Dunkin'.
Yeah, man.
I pass up their food and their donuts. Every time I go in there, I'm so tempted.
I didn't realize how much I miss Dunkin'.
Until you came here?
Because out here, they're there.
They're popping up slowly.
At least for me, they're all out of my way now.
Yeah.
Back where I used to live, I had one right down. I mean, I was still a little bit out of the ways, but it wasn't as bad as
you make the trip.
Yeah.
Back home, they're on every corner.
Oh man, and like I didn't realize how much I missed it until I had it again here, and I'm like, man, that was my hangout spot. I mean, that Denny's was a hangout spot, but me and my friends, we used to go out there and kind of like we're doing right now. We just go out and kick it, and like we'd all be playing video games, and at like at 10 o'clock. We'd all hop on or whatever, send a mass text like, hey, you guys want to go to, we called it DDBR because it was Dunkin' Donuts, Baskin Robbins. We'll all text each other, DDBR, 10 o'clock? Or like, Denny's, question mark? It'd either be one of those two. We'd maybe spend $5 max,
All together?
No, each.
Okay.
Some people would just buy a nice coffee. I had the plug, the guy there, at the end, like if you guys don't know, if you go to Dunkin' Donuts and they're open late, there's a certain time, usually a little past midnight, they have to throw away all the donuts because there's a new shipment coming in. So I was so good friends with this guy, and he lived in my apartment complex, which I later found out, but we were so cool with this guy, he was like, hey, if you guys stay past this time, the donuts are going to be in a black bag in the back.
Wow.
Help yourselves. So he's like, but you guys got to buy something. So we'd buy a nice coffee, whatever. you know, and at a certain time, all the donuts would be in the back. We'd eat the donuts. He would even give us some donuts for free before, so we didn't have to like look like savages taking them out of a garbage bag, you know? Yeah.
It's weird. You know what's weird? That there's not a better solution for that. Like
a lot of places do that.
I know. And it always bothered me. Mm-hmm. Like they could donate that to some sort of, I don't know, place, a shelter.
Yeah, I want to know the reason behind that.
Or you know, why not like the next day, like just have a separate shelf saying, oh, these are marked down. They're like day old.
Yeah, there's got to be a solution.
I've had day old donuts. Like, yeah, they're not fresh, right. But they're not unedible.
Yeah, they're not
or inedible.
Inedible, like I don't know. There has to be an answer to that.
It's weird.
I mean, we didn't do that at Burger King. I mean, we used it the next day. No, I'm just kidding.
Are you selling things that were old?
No, we would throw them out, but we would like. You gotta think like at a fast food restaurant we can manage. And we had an idea of how much we sold, so we would.
But at a fast food, aren't you kind of like cooking to order in a way?
At a certain time, yeah, and that's why at night it would take so long, and people would get mad at me at night, you know. But I didn't know at the time, but now looking back at it, that's when all the people that were drunk, you know, they were up to no good. They're not thinking right, and they would get mad. Yeah. Like now, I see that.
Right.
You know, but in those times, like. Yeah, it gets to a certain point, like around 10 o'clock, we'd be like, hey, don't pre-cook anything else, like, you know, because everything had a hold of time. You know, we wouldn't keep anything past what the franchise wanted us to keep it at. But somewhere like a Dunkin' Donuts, they have that shipment on auto lock. Every day you're going to get this amount of donuts. You don't know what you're going to sell. You know, someday people don't want the jelly-filled donuts. Some people don't want the cream-filled. So
did I not say this was going to be a very food-focused episode? I had a feeling.
You know,
I had a feeling.
This is right up our alley.
I have a very specific question. It kind of leads into what you're just saying.
Yeah, so, you know, what I'm saying is sometimes they don't know what it's going to be, but I believe there should be a solution. There has to be a solution.
All right, this is my question.
We'll have to hit them up.
This is my question to you. Because I know it's going to be regional, and I know that some locations are going to have days where something does better than other. Mm-hmm. But while you were working at Burger King, was there ever... This is always a question that I have, especially with places that have a bunch of items in the menu. Was there ever something on the menu that nobody ever bought? Or like it was so rare, you're like, yo, we got to dig this out of the freezer and heat this up. What would that be?
And it's mind-boggling because this burger was amazing. I don't know if they still have it, but it was called the Angus burger. Yeah. And the Angus burger, you know... to play it in like context, there was, let's say, 10 compartments, 10 heating compartments. 4 of them were for the Whopper, 2 of them were for the Whopper Junior patties, and the other 4 were like miscellaneous. And each Whopper thing held like 12 Whoppers. Each Whopper Junior one held like 15. But this one, Angus, we would only put like 2 in there. And we would only hold them, I want to say, for like 3 to 4 hours. Then after that, we'd have to discard them. But we would only cook like 2 or 1 at a time. And we'd leave it there, you know. After 3 hours, we'd have to throw that one away, cook a new one. But it was the equivalent of when you go to McDonald's and you get like a Big Mac. But if you want, like, the real deal, you get the quarter pounder. Because it's, like, that big beef. Mm-hmm. So, like, you want a Whopper? Cool. But the Angus burger was a higher quality beef. It was a thicker patty. The bread was a corn-dusted bun. It had all the toppings of the Whopper, minus the pickles, onions. But you can put it on if you want it. What I used to recommend it to people. Like, people that wanted a little bit more beef. They wanted a better flavor.
Go for the Angus.
I would say... order an Angus, made it like a Whopper, and if it's still on the menu and you have access to it, try it. Get some cheese and bacon on there. But that burger just didn't sell. I don't know. It's just maybe it was marketing or something, which I think Burger King needs help on. I think with the proper marketing, I think they're doing a great job now, by the way. But But yeah, that was one burger that didn't sell.
I mean, you go to Burger King, you get the Whopper. You know, I think that's absolutely 100% without a doubt their staple item.
Yeah. So
anything beyond that, I think it's a tough sell.
They should have called it the Super Whopper.
The Super Whopper.
They should have kept it in the name. It's the same mistake
or
that
the
Nintendo
Whopper XL
did, you know?
or something.
Something.
Yeah.
You know, it's the name.
It's the Wii U.
It's like the Angus. It just sounds weird. Like I remember like the Angus. What the hell? My dad was like, Angus? What the hell is that? The hell's an Angus? You know, it sounds
true.
weird.
Not
it
many
sounds
people
disgusting.
like know what Angus is.
Angus.
I mean, you know what it is now.
Yeah, but I mean, back then I don't know what it was, but it was an amazing burger. But man, I kind of want to go to work at Burger King again just to see. So much fooleries, man. I got so many Burger King stories. I know we're gonna keep talking about Burger King eventually. And I got countless stories to tell you, man. Like funny stories, disgusting stories.
I want to hear them all.
You know, well,
I probably know most of them, but
yeah, you probably know most of them. But
I like the just recounting all these.
Yeah, and
events.
what's funny, maybe I'll remember some. You know,
I think so too.
I'm curious. There's I guess this is segue into something else, but at the Burger King I worked at, I took a marker. And on the inside of one of the bathroom fixtures, whatever, I'm pretty sure I put my initials. It was just CM. I put my initials in marker. Mm-hmm. I'm curious if it's still there. Have you ever done anything like that? Like, is there anything in the world, whether be a tree or people carve their initials or whatever? Have you done anything like that anywhere? Is there somewhere in this world where you've left your stamp on it? That you could go back to see if it's still there.
I think I'm too good of a person to vandalize anything like that. I'm not a delinquent.
Damn.
No. No. I know. If I did, I don't remember.
No.
But yeah, I should.
So you've never done anything?
I don't think I have.
Oh man, I think I've done multiple things. But that
you have a problem.
There's at Carmel.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I left something there. And at what do you call it? There's this tree. I forget where it was, but I put my initials on it too.
So you want to go back and see if those things still
I'm more interested in the BK one.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if it's still there, they don't clean the bathrooms no more.
That's a good indication of
do
not eat at this location.
Yeah, you know.
One thing that I am proud of that wasn't vandalism and or just a terrible delinquent thing to do. Joking. Was our names at Real Urban Barbecue, which I'm still very proud of.
Oh yeah.
For those who don't know, we did that Godzilla food challenge, which that food challenge had absolutely nothing to do with Godzilla.
Yeah.
But the movie was coming out, the 2014 film, and it was a big challenge. It was a big. Let's back up a little bit. Real Urban Barbecue, I guess it's a chain or a smaller chain restaurant, like high quality, like Southern barbecue food, pulled pork, brisket, ribs, barbecue chicken, everything. Fantastic food. And they have this challenge called the Homewrecker, which is
Ultimate Homewrecker Challenge.
7-pound sandwich with a tray of fries and sides. And it's pulled pork and that
like a
bun.
7-pound burger, right?
Yes, and that bun is just dense.
Dry.
It's dry. I feel like
I was not expecting the dryness of
No, I could probably knock it out if it was just the fries and all that meat on top, but that bun was killer.
Yeah.
That was nuts.
They know what they're doing with that.
Oh yeah. And you have to beat it in a 45-minute window, and then if you do it, you get your meal for free. If not, you have to pay $60 per meal or something like that, if I remember correct.
You got like a shirt. You got your name on the other side of the list where our name is on, like the people that actually completed it.
Which wasn't many at the time. I'm not sure if that list has grown, but we have a video. Maybe I'll link it. It was the Godzilla challenge. Really good memories.
Yeah.
That being said,
I love that video.
still, I didn't realize this, but they put our name on the wall still under the Honorable Munchins.
Yes.
And I've had several people that I've known, that I know that still live back home that to this day will message me and be like, is that you on the wall? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I use that as a weird flex. Like,
yeah.
if someone...
Even though we didn't finish it.
No, yeah, but hey, our names are up there.
Yeah,
you know,
we're immortalized at this barbecue joint.
We're immortalized there until they have to shut down for salmonella or something.
Yeah. You got pretty far. You finished.
I could have done it, man.
You finished about half that sandwich. I barely did like a fourth.
I ate more than half, and the thing is, like, I could have done it. I went back home like an hour later. I ended up killing the rest of it.
Really? I think I didn't touch it, but I think my family kind of dug in.
I ended up killing the rest of it, cause like I knew I could do it. The problem was that it was dry and what I wasn't doing was like dipping it in sauce.
That's the trick.
You just gotta. We were doing it for the video and all that, and it got to the point where it's like. There was the people. You remember the ladies behind us?
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, that to me was everyone else was cool.
It was a mood killer, like
exactly. So everybody was cool, and there was these two. In my mind, they were British. I don't know, but it was two old ladies, stereotypical old ladies, and they were like, "Oh, it's absolutely repulsive.
Yeah,
it's disgusting.
It's disgusting." So like,
only in America.
Yeah.
I was like, "What do you?"
Yeah. So
let me eat my sandwich in peace. I'm not bothering you, lady.
Yeah. So that kind of like killed my vibe. Yeah. I killed my vibe, and then I'm like, I'm not one to really care about people judging me, but at that point, I'm like, damn, like maybe
we were just kids. So we were young.
I'm like, come on, man. Like, I wanted to finish it, but like everyone had already kind of like tapped out, and I'm like, I don't want to be the only fat one left, just eating the thing. But I could have done it.
Step back.
Yeah.
That was sexy Mata era.
Oh, dude, I was in my prime.
You're a beast back then.
What I want to do. I'll get back to that, bro.
Yeah.
I'll get back to that. I mean,
But
I think I can do it.
I think you can. So you're saying you want to revisit the challenge?
Maybe in a couple of years. Let me get back to Sexy Mata, and then we'll retry it again. That has to be a goal. Like, I can't do it unless I get back to Sexy Mata.
But you're doing it ass backwards, right?
I gotta bring Sexy back,
Well, yes, but wouldn't it make more sense if, like, why would skinny as fuck Mata be a more appropriate contender?
Because it's just how it is. It's like Kobayashi. You know what I'm saying? That dude don't have an ounce of fat on him, so that's why he can eat that much.
That's true.
But then you got Chestnut.
Yeah.
That dude. I mean, he used to be skinny, but then he kept winning those hot dog eating contests, and he put on some weight.
He's trying to lose weight though, isn't he right now? Is that his thing? Or am I wrong?
I don't know. I haven't kept up with the Coney Island. I'd love to go to that event. I've never been to New York. I want to go check out the city. I think they do it for July 4th, right? They do it for the July 4th thing.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'd love to be there at that event and see it live.
That would be really cool.
Because they have the lemonade, too. Like, it's crazy. They dunk the hot dogs in the lemonade.
In lemonade? I thought it was just water.
No, it's lemonade.
Ew. I saw a video. Okay, tell me if this sounds weird. And the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, There was a girl... some sort of TikTok. She took a McDonald's Hashbrown, then she took an Oreo McFlurry, and she like scooped it, put it on top of the Hashbrown, and then took another Hashbrown, capped it, and made like a little ice cream sandwich.
Ice cream sandwich with a Hashbrown?
She ate it. Now
that kind of sounds good though.
Like the salty
it's like a
sweet
and salty.
The more I thought about it, I'm like, oh, isn't that just like putting your fries in a milkshake? Which I don't think I've ever like truly done. I think I did it like once or twice, but that's all it is, right?
I did it with the Jack in the Box. I'm telling you, because you never had Jack in the Box, right?
I had it when I first visited California back in 2005. I was honestly that was like a month before I met you. It was that long ago.
Damn.
It was a long time ago. I couldn't remember if I enjoyed it or not.
Man, I think you gotta have it now. But I think by the next episode, You should try it.
I feel like we should be eating during the episode. I think I mentioned that last time. You're just gonna hear rappers and
yeah, you're just gonna hear a bunch of.
Oh, it would be the ASMR Attic.
Yeah, episode. Aren't they hungry?
We can invite everybody to eat with us in the attic. What'd you guys bring? Pizza.
Oh, they should.
Jersey Mike's.
Yo, what would people do if they came visit us in the attic? What would they bring?
What would they bring?
Yeah.
I don't know. Comic books? I don't know. Video games? It's whatever you want. It's the attic.
Ah, dude, that was a good drink right there.
So, Christian.
Yes.
We are at the doorstep of the summer. Wait, are you excited? Does it feel like summer to you? Now that we're adults?
No, dude, honestly.
I will say this. I had a memory the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And this was maybe right when I was graduating high school. And I didn't experience what I'm about to talk about until years later. But I went and I got a haircut, and I'm going to pay for my haircut. And the girl who was at the cashier goes, "Oh, you're graduating high school." I'm like, yeah. She goes, "Enjoy your last ever summer."
What you mean by that?
And I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "You'll know what I mean." And it struck a chord with me.
She said that to you?
Yes. She was a young girl too, maybe a year or two older than me.
Uh-huh.
But what I understand from that interaction now is when you're a kid, you finish school, if you're not working,
mm-hmm.
and you turn your brain off for 3 months, and you just enjoy summer, and you go outside, and you play games, and you hang out with friends, and you da-da-da-da. When you're an adult, or when you're working, you have responsibilities. Yeah, you go out, you still do those fun things, but then come Monday, you have responsibilities.
All right.
Or you have, bills to pay, or you got this and that, whoop-de-woo.
This and that.
This and that, whoop-de-woo. And, so, like, I don't think I truly experienced that until I moved out here.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my God, like,
She was right.
She was right. It's like it's never the same after. And then I thought there was something I read online, but it was like your friends you have in school. Like, I'll think about high school. I remember this moment. Like, there's a moment where you don't realize it, but it's going to be the last time you're all hanging out together. And it's never, ever going to be the same. Like, maybe you'll see one guy here, you'll see one guy there, but, like, I will never forget when we were in high school. I don't know if you were there for this, but we, like, all went to, like, this little park that was near, and we're all just, like, hanging out. We got out of school early, and we had to go to, like, summer graduation rehearsal, so we had, like, this block of time, and we were all just hanging out. And I think about that moment all the time because it was the last time I saw some of those people,
mm-hmm.
or at least all those people in the same place all at the same time. And you don't think about it in the moment because
right.
you don't know that's the last time.
Right.
But it just happens to be, and it's so weird that stuff happens.
I know, and like that people bring that up, all the time, and that's why you got to cherish every moment. And it's it's cool that, like, you remember that. I'm sure they remember it too. Even like me moving, like, I had a big group of friends back home, and I can't remember the last time where most of us were together. We used to throw, like, these Friendsgivings, but even, like, the ones that I do remember, not everyone was there. We used to also do, like, poker nights, and we'd all get together, throw, like, $5 down. I don't even think we used to drink alcohol at the time, but we just all kicked it, played some poker, and we did it so often that we thought we would be doing it forever. I miss those times. But I cherish those times. Like, those are people that have shaped me. And to people listening, like, we're getting sentimental, we're getting deep. But, with the people around you, like, cherish every moment with them, and make memories, have good times. If there's people that, like, you don't talk to anymore, or you have, like, beef with, life is too short. I was talking about it with a friend the other day. I would hate... Oh, come on, DK. DK! Come on, DK. I gotta finish this message, because this message is for the people. I wanted to leave them with this quote, or this realization that I made, but I personally have no beef with anybody in this world. And I would hope that people don't have beef with me, right? But what I want to tell people is that if you are beefing with anybody, like, reach out to them and try to squash out any beef. Because the last thing that I would want would be for, like, something bad to happen within my circle, and that be the reason someone ends up hitting you up. Mm-hmm. God forbid, I don't know, let's say your dog dies, right? Hey, your dog died. And it's like, hey, I'm reaching out to you because, your dog's dead and I hope you're okay. Like, I'll use an example. There was people that didn't talk to me that reached out to me after Kobe Bryant passed away because they knew how much he meant to me. But let's just say it wasn't Kobe Bryant. Let's say it was, God forbid, it was one of your parents. Like, I'd rather you reach out to me today. Just reach out to the people that you probably don't talk to because, like you're saying, it may be the last moment you're seeing each other. And it might be the last moment, and life's too short to just not squash beef and reach out to the people that made you.
But it is important to set boundaries with people that are toxic in your life.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there are situations that you have to block out certain people.
Right.
Because they're toxic to your mental health.
True.
Your well-being. There are bad examples for you.
I guess it was more for people that like
good
really
friends.
Meant something in your life, and that you shared these memories with. You know what I mean?
And there's
no
moments,
toxicity.
For relationships that could mend, but you're either too stubborn or you're too shy or sad or what have you to make that first initial step, and you guys are both on both ends of the spectrum trying to be like, who's going to make the first move? And it's like, just
do it.
Life's too short. Life's too short. Yeah, I agree 100%. I was going to say something that was less depressing because I don't want to end up on a sour note.
Hey, Donkey, play that song again.
Yeah.
It's a happy note.